Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and this episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Bevel. Bevel is the first and only shaving system designed for coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. It's here to help you keep that skin smooth and healthy. All right, you can get the first month of your Bevel subscription for free by going to getbevel.com and entering promo code FREEIDIOTS at checkout. That's getbevel.com, GETBEVEL.com. Promo code FREEIDIOTS at checkout, and you get the first month of your Bevel subscription for free. Today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by Loot Crate. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, what's Loot Crate? Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic, geek, and gamer items and pop culture gear. Every month, there's a new theme with all the items in the crate curated around that month's theme. Previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and so much more. And word is they're going to be sending me a very cool Marvel version just for me because they know I'm a Marvel geek.
Now let Loot Crate be your geeky Santa Claus. And he doesn't show up once a year, he shows up once a month with exclusive gifts. Head to lootcrate.com/idiots and use promo code idiots to save $3 on any new subscription. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive this month's crate. And when the cut off happens, you're out of luck because it's over. So again, go to www.lootcrate, that's LOOTCRATE.com. Use promo code idiots and you can get $3 off any new Loot Crate subscription. Get your geek on with Loot Crate. We got some shows coming up. The Hesitation Tour is coming to Atlanta. All right? I'm going to be there June 26th at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. Just go to atlcomedytheater.com for tickets. You can call 770-724-6400. Get your tickets for that. It's going to be June 26th. Then the 30th of June, we got the Brilliant Idiots in New York City. All right? Make sure you go check that out. We're going to be at the Tribeca Pack Theater. Get your tickets for that. Right now, you can go to tickets.tribecapack.org /The Brilliant Idiots. Check that out. North Carolina, Raleigh, there's been a little change. I'm only going to be there one night. That's the 24th of July, okay? The 24th of July. Make sure you get tickets at Charlie Goodnight's Comedy Club, Raleigh, North Carolina, just the 24th of July. It's not the whole weekend, just the 24th. If you already got tickets, return them shits and get it for the 24th, the Sunday. The 27th, I'll be in Houston, Texas at the Improv. All right, Houston, show up. The 3rd through the 6th, I'll be in Amsterdam. The 12th, I'll be in Long Island to the Brokerage in Belmore. And the 14th, I'll be at the Comedy Factory in Baltimore. And then August 27th, Brilliant Idiots Live, Columbus, Ohio. Make sure you go check that out. Idiotslive.brownpapertickets.com. Make sure you get that. There you go.
Let's start the show. Now, I have a young man in the building today. He's from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. He's a rapper, mm-hmm. and he's dope. And the reason I have him here is not because of him, it's because of his affiliation. Because he is dope, but affiliation helps in this business. Let's not get it fucked up. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right? And you know, the last time I seen my man Jason Jeter and Amir, those guys running around with an artist pushing them crazy, it was T.I.
Wow.
You know? I mean, it was an artist after T.I., but I'm talking about...
But didn't work out.
No, a lot of those guys worked out. But, you know, Nick Grant is here, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? Hey.
What up, Nick?
What's going on, man?
What's happening?
Just living.
So what's going on with you, man? I saw you yesterday. You was in the offices of Epic Records.
Yeah.
Saw you with L.A. Reid himself.
Yes, sir.
L.A. Reid just don't come downstairs for nobody, bro.
No, you don't. I was blessed to have that.
Okay. You getting a bag from Epic?
Yeah, it's working. It's working out.
So that's who you gonna sign? Now I don't know if Jason didn't want you to say that this far. Is he supposed to say that, Jason? Who he's signing with?
Yeah, so
you are signing with them.
I am already signed to Epic. Yeah.
Wow, when that happened? I must have missed that one.
Month and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because last time I knew a lot of labels that was courting you. I was actually texting the mail like, yo, such and such wants to get at Nick, but he was talking like it was a done deal already.
Who was that?
You want to know the other labels that wanted you? Oh, no, I was telling the man that.
Okay, cool.
So you from South Carolina?
Yeah, from South Carolina, Walterboro, South Carolina, yep.
Walterboro, that's right, like right by Charleston, like 40 minutes from Mounts Corner.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to have a chick in Walterboro I wanted to smash.
For real?
She used to play basketball for Walterboro High School.
Man, stay from
I don't remember her name, though. So how'd you end up with JG to them?
Just doing music out throughout the city, just kind of trying to like do like the open mics or whatever. I made this mixtape with DJ Infamous. It kind of got a like little name for myself, like in the open mic circuit.
So you moved from Walterboro to Atlanta? 'Cause I know you ain't talking about the city of Walterboro.
Yeah, not Walterboro at all. Hell no.
Got you.
So yeah, long story short, moved to Atlanta. kind of did the open mic circuit. Did like this Jacking for Beats tape. Gave it to my brother. You know, he met one of Jason's friends.
Okay.
Gave it to his friend. He took it back to Jason. Jason loved it. He called me the same day. For whatever reason, we didn't end up working. Like 4 years later, he hit me. I guess he was still like following me on like we were
Social
following
media?
each other.
Okay.
Yeah, on like social media, like Instagram or whatever. Had to clean it up. Yeah. So my captions would be like, "Yo, I'm the greatest rapper in the world." Like, and I guess he was like paying attention to that. So he hit me like, "Yo, I want to sit down with you. I want to hear this music that you like cheering for and saying is like the greatest music ever." So when I played it for him, we just been working ever since.
So you were saying you were the greatest before you were signed.
Before I was signed, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And did you feel that way, or you were like, I'm gonna fake it till I make it?
I definitely feel like that. Hip hop is so competitive. You have to feel like that. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I said this yesterday, but like I feel like if you ask Allen Iverson, is he better than Michael Jordan? He'll tell you yeah, but in his mind, he'll probably say no.
But he be lying.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you gotta lie.
No,
to
don't get me
yourself.
wrong. It's good. It does help.
you have to be that way. You have to have that mindset.
I was telling somebody this yesterday about Lil Wayne. I was like, nobody believed Lil Wayne was the best rapper alive till he said it. Like until then, he was just dope. Like he was
Jay
dope.
did that first.
Did
Jay put
do
him
it
in the
first?
group of the bigs, right? What was that line? Damien always brings this up, but he
Which
was
one?
like, who's the best?
Oh, yeah, who's the best MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas?
Jay
Yeah,
was
yeah.
never in that convo before that
Yes,
line.
he was.
Stop
though.
it.
I don't know why you keep saying that.
Do you
You're a
think
hip hop
Jay
head,
was-
right, Nick?
Yeah,
Was Jay-Z
How old
in
are
the
you?
convo
I'm 27.
of... Oh, you're young. Oh, you're young. You're young. You're young. Yeah,
Jay was
yeah,
Jay.
yeah, yeah,
When,
yeah,
by
yeah.
the time
This is Throwback
at
Thursday
the time
music for
Jay
you.
said
This is-
that verse, he was absolutely in the convo,
No.
especially in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
96. That was.
Was he in the
Matter
convo
of fact, that
with
wasn't even 96 because that was the second album. That was
Jay
In My Lifetime, Volume 1.
with Biggie?
Jay-Z and Nas. Those were the guys.
Yeah.
You got to think Big was on Jay's first album with Brooklyn's Finest. Like, those were the guys, man.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what made you want to leave Walterboro?
Man, just rough times, man. There's not a lot of opportunity. Very remote.
I think the question is, what makes someone want to stay in Walterboro?
Exactly. That's
Right? It's not kind of question. What made you want to leave? Oh, you wanted a career and opportunity? This is professional interviewer Charlamagne the God over here. This is what he does for
No,
the...
what I meant was.
I feel like you know though.
No, I'm saying what I meant was what
and
told
Jay-Z was
you.
not in the conversation.
No, what I meant was what told you
I
that
mean-
you had to leave.
I mean, it was really like a family decision.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
family decision. I guess it wasn't a lot of opportunity there. I feel like you know that. Yeah, it was just really a family decision.
What's the industry in Walterboro? What's like the big industry out there?
The high school.
The high school, so you got to work at the high school. It's just
Burger
one job,
King.
principal, and then that's it.
Type shit.
Walterboro ain't country though. It's not like rural like Monk's Corner.
Nah. Yeah, you kind of gotta.
What are your roads made out of?
So we have some dirt roads if that's what you.
Really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh
Absolutely.
wow!
Yeah.
Charlamagne, you got some competition over here,
No.
bro.
Walterboro far though. Like Walterboro, one of them places you see on the sign, and that should say 32 miles away. Like I ain't going there. I'm not even thinking about it. So you have family in Atlanta?
Yeah, I did.
Like how did you know Atlanta was the destination?
I mean, it was like the closest thing to Walterboro.
Yeah.
It was like the closest major city that people was like at and hot. Yeah, so my family moved out there. We've been actually going back and forth from Atlanta since '96.
Got you.
So when I permanently moved to Atlanta in '02.
Were you the man in Walterboro? Because I always tell people, man, they be like, oh, I'm going to move to Atlanta. I'm going to move to New York. I'm like, yo, if you can't even run your own town,
Yeah.
don't try to do that in Atlanta.
I mean, I was real young. You know,
Yeah.
I was real young, so I felt like I could have, but I didn't want to be there. So yeah,
I want to hear some bars, man.
you want to hear some bars?
Because people are sitting here listening like, who the fuck is this guy? I need to hear talking about he's the greatest. You got to give us some bars, then we'll get back to talking.
All right, cool. Hold on.
Pressure.
Pressure. No pressure. The new king, now watch a nigga spaz. The school of hard knocks, you niggas skipping class, you fake. Bumping traitor only time you trigger blast. Talking you through the present times, I got the gift of gab. Jury swinging like a freak couple, I got a whole fetish. Wide body Ferrari, look bow-legged, we go-getters. Niggas that you admire acknowledge me as prophecy. No shame, cocaine, white as the dress on the bride-to-be. Pimpin', promote the pussy like she signed to me. Nicole Scherzinger, nigga Nina on my lap. Here's my squirt finger, blow. How you like me now? Niggas telling on the crowd, where the fuck is the morale?
Let me ask you a question, right? That was dope. So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like like it's good to have a lane like you got, because you don't have to be a street rapper no more.
Right, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what it was based on, like how it started out, you know, being like a street rapper. But I feel like I have those experiences too. I just tell them a different way.
And what you mean by that? What you mean by that? You have those experiences too, but you tell them a different way.
Like I saw him from afar, like
right.
A drug dealer. Like he would see me and be like, "Yo, you got so much potential. Don't be like me. Go chase whatever you're passionate about for real."
You're like the star athlete in the neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they want you to win.
See, that's why that's real though. That's real to me, because you'll have so many people for years who would see the drug dealer guy and take on his persona, and next thing I was the one selling the dope. Like, absolutely. No, you can be the guy in the hood that they saw something in and was like, "Don't do this shit," and rap about that too.
Isn't it shitty when the drug dealer doesn't see something in you?
Like, hey, let me give you a pack, little nigga.
You're gonna be one of us.
Exactly.
You get on the corner, you got no talent.
Yeah, they ever did that to you? What's that? Like, hey, go sell dope.
Nah.
So it was always positive influences from day one.
Yeah, always. It was like stay from around that dude. He's gonna end up being one of us or dead. So.
All right, so you go to Atlanta and you hit the open mic scene, right? And I went to one rap open mic. A buddy of mine was doing some stuff. That shit is no, this is New York, but it was demoralizing, bro. It was like, I thought like stand-up comedy open mics are bad, and they are really bad. But the rap thing, not that the skill level was bad, it was that these guys were giving their fucking all, and the music is blowing. And there's like 6 people just like, all right, is it my turn to go up? The crowd's not into it. At any point in that time, did you start questioning yourself when you're performing for shitty crowds? Or?
Oh, nah, because before I jumped out there, I made sure the music was solid and it was something that I really loved.
So you didn't care about the reaction?
No, I didn't, long as I felt like what I was doing was dope. And I feel like the moment you're not doing what you know, really loving and putting out music that you don't like, people can see through that. So, you know, they kind of connected to it because it was stuff that I was really passionate about, and I made sure it was solid before I even did open mic.
I think the difference with stand-up and rap is like, what reaction are you looking for?
That's true.
Like with stand-up, you know, you're telling jokes to laugh. You go out there and spit bars. Like, what do you want them to do?
I mean, they pretty much tell you when you finish. Like, yo, that was dope. You know, you might have people. My homie told me, because he would do the open mic stuff too, like Saha. He was like, they might not just vibe with you right off top, but when you get off stage, it's like, yo, that was dope. That's how, if they looking at you and you just watching and staring you, nobody's walking off, and they pretty much enjoying it.
Do you think it's other factors that are involved in music other than just you being dope? Because you mentioned Saha. Saha is phenomenal, but it's like amazing. The dots don't connect. Like I see dots connecting more for you than they did for somebody like Saha.
Careful about agreeing.
You know, Saha got a diss record about you.
You was
Nick, I put you on.
You know what? That is true about
opening for me. It's the open mic.
I just feel like everybody's journey is different. You know, my journey might be a little different. It might be the people I have around me. You know, so I don't know. I can't really speak for him, but you know, I just know he's a dope MC and one of the best I've ever heard. So, yeah.
I want to know about your process, because I was watching the Sway. The Sway interview, and when you freestyled on Sway,
5 Fingers of Death,
and it was really good. And I noticed that I really liked the metaphors. Like there was a lot of really great metaphors, and I just want to know the process. Like, are you sitting down there going, okay, what is something I can say about lean? How does somebody lean this way? Lean like, you know, smooth criminal. Like, is that it, or is it conversational?
Remember the bars,
I remember a couple of bars. Yeah. What was it? More hoes in my childhood wardrobe. Yeah. Like I remember it was some things caught me, especially like visual images really stick for me. So I want to know what's the process when you're writing.
It's many different processes. You know, it might be a conversation we had in the studio a week before. It may be a beat that inspires me to say something, but more so for me, it's only kind of just writing when you inspire. Because that when you write when you inspire, you always create at a high level. So I just kind of do it when I'm inspired. Everything just comes to me, just my experiences, and that's pretty much how it comes out.
Okay. Is it ever like a line? Are you ever just like you're on the subway or in a taxi or something like that, and you're just boom, and then you just write it down in notes?
Yeah, in my phone, whatever, voice notes, whatever, yeah.
You got something on the phone right now? That's not a full song, but like a dope bar?
See.
Yeah, let's see something.
So you actually do save your bars. You're not one of these rappers lying, talking about, yo, I'm like Jay and Big, I don't even write. I just go in the studio.
I definitely write.
I just go in the studio and lay it. I hate it when rappers were saying that shit. It's like Big said it, and then Jay said it, and then everybody was like, I don't even write. And we can tell, motherfucker.
Right.
No shit.
Let me see, man. Let me see.
What you got? What you got, Nick? Are you working on the album?
Absolutely.
What's the difference between albums and mixtapes? Because I can't even tell the difference no more.
In a good way or a bad way?
Both.
Yeah, it's in a good way. See, the difference for me is like, you know, when we used to hear an artist's album, that was the first time we ever heard of an artist. So that was like our introduction to the artist. Now, a lot of times when you put out so much material, like if Chance the Rapper ever comes out with an official album on a major label, what is Chance going to talk about?
Right.
Like we know him already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be another college dropout or a Reasonable Doubt. Like we know him.
Right. So I think the difference is just put more into it, like pulling more out of yourself that you didn't, you know, your life, your more experiences being pulled out of you, having more conversations with people, listening to different types of music, you know. So me approaching this is like really digging deep and, you know, kind of just remembering stuff and recollecting those emotions of where I'm from and how I grew up.
And a lot of times y'all already got money too on your first albums now because of all the street albums and mixtapes y'all was putting out.
But what makes something a mixtape?
I don't know. Ain't no DJs.
I don't know anything.
They not even on tapes no more. And ain't no mixing.
There's no mixing. And even freestyles. I remember like freestyle used to be literally off the top, and now freestyle is like a kind of written song, but there's no production to it. Is that what you just said?
Jay Jeter, come on the mic. This is the legendary Jason Jeter. Okay.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, with a mixtape, think about the production quality. Obviously, samples, no clearances, and things like that. And I think that, like you said, like a lot of times with a mixtape, people are more hungry. So when it comes to the album, now with certain things, you don't see the same hunger in the artist, and you don't see the same, like, say, like Fabulous with the soul tapes. They're crazy, right? Because of the samples. It's like, I can sample Sade, I can sample anything.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to having a budget, having to clear samples, now I'm a little limited. I'm a little boxed in now.
Okay, so here's my question as an artist, right? If you're not making real money on the albums anyway, why not just put out mixtapes and collect all the money on tour? If then you could sample all the dopest music, you could get all these crazy songs that you wouldn't be able to get, all these beats you wouldn't be able to get. You don't have to pay for it because you're not charging money from the album. You make the money when you go on tour. Like it kind of seems like the album is almost obsolete in the current structure of music.
Kind of artist you are.
Say what?
It depends on what kind of artist you are. From the standpoint of, think if you're an artist and you want to compete on the highest level, now I got to go to the Grammys. Now I got to go, you know what I'm saying? Now I got to be official for real. So that's really.
But can't you win a Grammy with a mixtape? Wasn't Drake nominated?
That's what they're trying to ask for.
Well, JG, no, come here. What about these guys like Macklemore? Are these guys really independent? Like the Macklemores, Chance the Rappers, are they really independent?
I think Chance the Rapper is probably the most independent rapper, but I mean, even now he has like Apple Music behind him, right? So that's no longer independent for real, right? Now you got major support, you know?
Yeah.
Macklemore, no, he's not independent. He started off independent through 88 Distribution, and then they got upstream label services through Warner Brothers. So now you're not independent anymore, you know? So I think that some dudes start independent, but once you have success, you know, that's business in life, right? Once everybody start coming after you with money,
sure,
you're going to do it.
It's easy to be independent when nobody wants to depend. You know what I'm saying? I love how people brag about that shit. Homeless people are independent too.
Independent living. Exactly. I'm not homeless. It's independent living. What you talking about? I don't want to be signed to a house. All right.
Fuck a lease.
I'm glad we got Jason Jeter here. Now, Jason Jeter, along with T.I., founded Grand Hustle Records. So, I mean, everybody from B.O.B. to Iggy Azalea to PSC, that was Jay Jeter and T.I., right? What made you want to sign Nick Grant? Because I don't see you running around with Nick in the streets, back in the trenches, and you rich. Yeah, you don't have to do this.
Yeah. I think
it's always the people behind the music that say they're never rich, and they're the only ones that got money. But you cutting their checks? How the fuck did they fall?
I think for Nick, man, it was really like just seeing something special. You know, I feel like you said, with a tip or if anyone, you look at his career, and to me, like I see a lot of just special things as far as what's going on in the space of music right now, and which is really interesting because like right now, you think like in the new age of rap, Nick is like a rebel in hip hop right now. From the standpoint, I mean, from the standpoint of number one, you could understand what he's saying. Like you said, the average rap song that comes on, right? The average rap song that comes on, people aren't really putting anything into the lyrical.
They love a little mumble in their music.
You know what I'm saying? You got mumble. I mean, at the end of the day, too, you think now in hip hop, like most people are like the drug addicts. It's drug music. You know what I'm saying? So now you got a rapper who's not. Now I'm an MC, so to me it's what I came up off of, and the ability to actually have a career. Right? If I'm gonna invest my time, my energy, my resources, my relationships, my money, I don't want to do it just for one song, 2 songs, and for a season. I want to be able to go to the distance. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to obviously have ancillary businesses built around the foundation of music. I want to be able to align ourselves with corporations and go to the Grammys and perform on the highest platform. I think that he has that skill set and that ability and that potential.
Don't you think it's safer to have a Nick too? Because T.I. is one of my top 5 favorite rappers ever, but it had to be draining dealing with a street rapper all the time, Jay.
I mean, I got a lot of gray hairs, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, without a doubt, it's definitely a different audience, right? And, you know, like you said, a lot of times what you put out there is what you get back. So that's back to what you said with Wayne and people saying, yo, I'm the greatest, I'm the this, I'm the that. Like, yo, you got to put that in the atmosphere and then you'll get it back. Look at Biggie. Like, he said he had bitches. Like, look at Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the bitches started thinking.
You know what I mean? Once you put it out there, though. So,
that's very true.
You know?
Do you think that now is like, as somebody who's producing music, right, or at least an executive behind this, are you like finally people like rap that isn't rappers that aren't saying they're killing people? Like, is there like this finally? Like,
I think it's dope. I think it's dope because the era that I come from, like, it was diversity in hip hop, right?
Yeah.
You had balance. So you had, you know, gangster rap, but you still had, you know, you had all kinds of rap. And to me, I look at music and I feel like it should be like a crayon collection.
Yeah.
You should have all kinds of colors. You shouldn't just have all yellow, all brown, all one color of anything. So I think diversity and balance is necessary and needed, you know? So I think it's really dope.
Is it a part of you, Jason, that feels you like Nick because he kind of like fills that void of you being the nurturer and being needed because you come from a managerial background. And guys like T.I., once they're established, they don't really need that necessarily no more.
Without a doubt. Once you get to a certain point, you get to a certain point and you may feel like you don't need it. But at the same time, I feel like that's one of the problems with hip-hop because, I mean, you look, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, but he always had a coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no matter how great you are in any other industry, institution other than music or other than hip-hop, because it's back to Michael Jackson still had a manager. You know what I'm saying? Like hip-hop, it's unfortunate that a lot of times people do feel that way, you know? But I think it's dope just in general when you look at rap right now, the whole state of business, the biggest rappers are rapping. The biggest rappers are Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake,
Big Sean.
Big Sean, Chance the Rapper now. Like, the biggest rappers are really rapping for real. People don't really see it like that because there's so much pollution out there.
do you think we care about lyrics?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because all my favorite rappers can rap. Everybody he just named just now, I'm a fan of. All I've been listening to all weekend is that Save Money crew. Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, Joey Perp. And I never listened to a Chance the Rapper project ever. And my homegirl was like, yo, you got to listen to Coloring Book. And I have not turned it off.
Yeah.
And, like, them, they dope.
So you think that we do?
The only reason I didn't listen to Chance at first because he named his CD Acid Rap. And JG brought up a good point, Nick, which you should always stay away from. I don't like this era of the Fiends because I grew up in the era of hustlers. We don't respect no crackheads. We don't respect no junkies. I don't respect no junkies. That's it.
Exactly.
How you feel about that?
Man.
You do drugs?
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
Don't smoke, don't drink, nothing.
Got you.
You don't smoke weed at all?
I don't smoke weed at all.
Never smoked weed?
Never been
Why
in
not?
my life.
What about cocaine or anything like that?
Like, why not, though? Like, seriously, like, why not?
It's just, I just felt like it wasn't for me.
But you never tried
I
it?
never tried it, but I
So how do you know?
I just wanted to say
Was it somebody in your family?
This is how you get pussy right here. What you mean you don't like anal? What are you talking about?
Just let me put the tip in.
After you take a shit, don't you feel good? Don't you feel good? Come on, boo. Come on.
oh, man.
Did you have people in your family that was on
Absolutely.
it? Okay,
Yeah, you know, like even with like the alcohol, like it would go from like a nice cookout to like people having alcohol, then all the issues come out.
Oh yeah,
got you.
know, yeah,
Welcome to Scotland, my friend. Charlamagne met my
that
cousins.
was like really one of the reasons why I stayed away from it.
So what's your vice?
Oh man, women.
You getting a lot more pussy now that you Nick Grant?
Man, it's a little different.
Word.
It's a little different.
What do you mean the quality's different?
Everything.
Not that Walter Burrow stuff, huh?
There's some bad chicks in Walterboro, bro. I'm telling you, I don't care what you, Nick. It's some bad chicks in Walter. I mean, I don't know about now, but when I was
Dirt
coming
road
up,
in their sandals and shit.
no. When I was coming up, there was some bad chicks in Walterboro, man.
Really?
I'm telling
You
you.
had one girl that plays center on the high
She
school
was a
basketball
center,
team.
too. She was a center.
She was not a center.
She was a center.
You like the ugliest bitches back in the day, man.
She was 5'10" and beautiful. Yo.
I didn't hear one girl from back in the day that was good looking.
Listen,
fuck, man.
I can't remember her name, but she was bad. She probably got 4 kids now and all fucked up. So what's next for Nick Grant, man?
Oh man, just working on this album and just touching the people and connect. Like my thing for me is like, you have like the Jay-Z's and Nas and Biggie's and Pacs. I feel like these guys are like the Mount Rushmore of rap, but
Gods.
yeah, exactly. I just want to be in the conversation of like the new generation.
Who the new generation of Kings do you? Like who the guys that inspire you?
J. Cole, Kendrick, along with like all the old school stuff, because that's what I listen to more than anything. D'Angelo as well, Erykah Badu, Maxwell, all that stuff, Angie Stone. But as far as like the new generation of rappers, the Big Sean's and the J. Cole's and Kendrick's.
Wait, D'Angelo with the stomach?
So you must be talking about how do you feel, D'Angelo?
Oh God, he had a great stomach, that guy, huh?
This guy.
Yes, homo.
Crazy.
Where can they reach you, Nick? Give me your Twitters and Instagrams and all that good stuff.
All my social media handles are Nick Grant Music, at Nick Grant Music, everything. Yeah.
Okay. And what projects do they look for? Like if they wanted to get up on Nick Grant right now.
88 is like the official release and like the only thing I really promote. So yeah.
So that's already out.
Yeah, that's
out.
out. Now.
Okay,
It's
so
been
you
out
check
since
that out.
February 2nd.
Good.
And how important is it for you to rep where you're from? Because that's what I was telling Amir, like, yo, he got to rep South Carolina.
Man, absolutely.
And they hate when I post you. When I post you on the gram, they be like, fuck him. He don't rep South Carolina.
I see all that, yeah. I definitely do. For me, it's like all my experiences, all my formative years, everything that I learned as a kid, like it's kind of hard to like turn your back on that. So
Absolutely.
I have to rep South Carolina.
All right, before you go, what makes you start in South Carolina and then you move to Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Why were you drawn towards I don't want to say lyricism as if it's like a North thing, but like you even mentioned it in the Sway rap. You're like, right. I'm from down south, but I rap like a New York word I can't say.
Yeah, you could have made a song about fucking boogers or some stupid shit. You know
what drew you to it? Like I often see people they're like, I just like this. What was it about that 90s?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it was just the stuff that my mother and my brother would play like in my early years. When I was 6, like I grew up on that stuff. He's like 11 years older than me. It was stuff that he was on that I just love. And I love like just the art of like figuring out what people were saying in metaphors and creating metaphors and stuff I gravitated toward.
I tell people all the time, in South Carolina, we didn't have like Atlanta got artists.
Yeah.
We didn't have artists.
So we got to choose, yeah.
So we listened to everything. We listened to all the rappers from whatever was hot, New York, LA, Hoodie Mob, Outkast.
Okay. I figured just it would be more, since it's South culturally, it would be more South musically, but you were
but the
listening to
South was different back then, at least for me. Like I grew up on a group of artists from the South that was rapping. Dungeon Family was rapping. That's true. He was lyrical as fuck. UGK was rapping. A-Ball and MJG was rapping. You know?
Yeah.
So my man Nick Grant, man, thank you for coming, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, man.
That love.
Hey man, thanks for coming by, bro.
Jay Jeter, my man Amir. It's the Brilliant Idiots. We'll be right back.
All right.
We'd like to thank today's sponsor, Bevel, for supporting Brilliant Idiots. It's summer, it's hot, and here in New York, it's hot and it's humid. Do you want to suffer the pain of razor bumps and ingrown hairs? No, you don't. So spare yourself that skin battle by getting a Bevel razor, and the Bevel kit doesn't just give you a clean and safe shave, it's a healing one too.
Bevel was made for people with coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. The facts are that up to 80%, I don't know why I'm reading this one, 80% of black men and women experience razor bumps.
Because they believe it when they hear from the white man.
And up to 30% of all men and women experience razor bumps as well. And part of that is because you're not using the right razor for your skin. Multi-blade razor can cause irritation and bring out those painful razor bumps. Hair removal creams are messy, have foul odors, and can leave you with burns and discoloration. But Bevel, The bevel razor uses a single blade, and the full kit includes a priming oil to protect your skin before you shave, a hydrating shave cream, a high-quality badger brush to lift those hairs, and a post-shave restoring balm to repair your skin.
And salute to @CamPerry21. He hit us up on Twitter to say he used that free idiots code to cop his bevel. Be like Cam. Go to getbevel.com today and use code FREEIDIOTS to get the first month of your Bevel subscription for free. That's GETBEVEL.com. Enter code FREEIDIOTS at checkout and start shaving smarter today. Now, we just had Nick Grant in here, but I had to bring in, Jason Jeter. You heard him talking with Nick Grant. I was behind the label from Grand Hustle was on maybe like 2 weeks ago. Did that bring back a lot of memories, man?
Yeah, of course. That brought back a ton of memories. Like just doing it, of course, when we sat down and did the interview process, it's funny because when you're doing something, like I always say, it's like dog years. Like so much happens.
Yeah.
That it's just hard to kind of remember stuff. So when people bring up topics and pictures, it's like, oh, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because, growing up, before you get in the game, you see things about the Illuminati and everything, right? And I always tell people the reason that's bullshit is because I've watched people like yourself come up from nothing. I remember when I was doing radio in Columbia, South Carolina, 2002, T.I. didn't even have a deal. And y'all came to the big DM. Y'all had 24s on white label. And then, even when T.I. would get incarcerated, you would still come promoting Big Country or whoever it was. So I saw the grind from the ground up.
Yep, in the core.
So you managed T.I.?
Yeah, managed to start the label Grand Hustle.
Okay. And then what about, what's the guy's name?
Who?
T.I.'s, I thought the other guy manages T.I. What's his name? God. Clay, yeah. What about Clay?
Clay was road manager.
That's his road manager. Yeah. Okay. God, I love Clay. He's great. He's hilarious. His strip club knowledge is mind-boggling. Dude, this dude gave me the greatest line ever for the strip club, and it's worked every single time. It's the stripper's there, and you just go, what else you do?
I'm going to give you another one. All right, give me some good stripper. When the stripper comes over and see you want to dance, he's like, I already saw you dance.
What else you got?
I already saw you dance over there. I saw you already. Like,
bro, the simple little lines, man.
Let me tell you Jason Jeter story. This is one of the stories that inspired me in my life. It's when Urban Legend came out, right? T.I. had this in-store at Manifest Dictates Columbia. They got helicopters out. Shut the shit down, right?
Yeah.
So nobody could book T.I. Jason Jeter was like, I'm not booking y'all. Give me the door of the club, right?
Respect.
Give me the door of the club. Jason Jeter was counting like 120 in cash that night on the tour bus. I'm like, holy shit.
That was before the recession. That was the good era of hip-hop.
Is it harder? Because, it's not a lot. Is it a lot of money in music nowadays?
Nah.
Not like back then.
I would say not like back then. Not in comparison, right? And that goes back to when we was talking about the whole independent thing. Yeah. To me, I say with music is yours as long as it's not worth anything. So of course we know with streaming and all of that, it's no money that you're really making off of music, but music promotes everything. Well, music sells everything except for itself. From that standpoint, you got to kind of have something else that you're selling through your music, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
what made music is like a manager in a way.
It's like, music gives you a passport.
Right? Yeah, it's going to get you places. Okay, real quick. Just as a manager, how do you continue to prove your worth to a client? Let's say when you blow up, and this guy knows he could sell out, T.I. knows he could sell out every show, and he knows he could do all these things. How do you continue to convince them, hey, it's better when I'm here?
I think, it's really about the money, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of times, so if you're an artist and like you say, you get to a certain point, all right, cool, I got my booking agent and we got, so like you said, you got to continue to prove your worth or your value, and I think that's really showing them new money.
So what is something you did with T.I. where you're like, all right, I need to create new avenues?
It started with endorsements, so of course music was the first thing. And like Charlamagne said, anytime you take somebody from we begging people to do a show for free, and now under my watch, in a sense, you go from $0 all the way up to getting $250,000 for a show. Obviously, that says something, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's back to people around the artist, the family, everybody else knows, like, yo, when this guy enters your life, things change. So that says something. But, more than anything, you got to keep coming up with new ways to get more money. Be it a book deal, be it a a Chevy deal, be it a clothing brand, be it a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, you gotta keep learning new stuff and learning new lanes of business.
How frustrating is it as a manager for you when you get all of these things and then T.I. does something that causes him to go to jail and then you lose all these things?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's still probably going to come back and blame you for not having nothing.
I mean, that's the game, right?
But it's like, you went to jail.
Game, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's just in life. That's frustrating, right? Like, let's be honest. Like when you put in a lot of work, and what people don't know about a manager is, you could work on something for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? You can work on getting a deal, flying on the manager's dime. You know what I'm saying? Flying somewhere, dinners, and entertaining somebody that, you know, we ain't really friends, right? But now I got to kind of entertain you because I'm trying to massage and chorus this deal. So you work on entertaining a deal for so long, typically before the deal happens. Obviously, especially when it's a big deal, right? Or if it's a creative deal, something that, you know, the company, we've never done a deal like this before.
Can you give us an example of a deal that you worked on for 6 months? Curating.
Man, I worked on a Remy deal for months. You know, Remy Martin. We did a deal with Remy for
$20 million from what I heard.
I don't know, but we did it. I worked on that for a while. You know,
I heard it was 20
even
M's.
Wait, for who? For who?
For T.I.
I don't know about that, but even on the close,
You should know about it. You signed the deal. Who else?
They probably could have been exaggerating.
Yeah,
I heard
mean,
that from Remy people.
Most deals are exaggerated, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, most deals that are big, it takes a while. So be it a clothing deal, like we worked on our clothing deals for a long time, you know, before we did them.
Y'all had to give the Remy money back, right?
Nah, we don't get money back.
Oh, okay. I thought
You know how that go in life, man.
Yeah.
That register open one way, like usually it don't go back. But you know, if people want to press you, they could make you. But that is the good thing, I guess. When most people get in business with someone with hip hop, you know what you're dealing with a little bit too. You know, which is kind of crazy with corporate America too. You know, just being that. I think it was kind of cool with Puma and Meek Mill. Honestly, I think in that scenario, I can say I think it was cool of Puma to stick with Meek through his trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? Because most of the time something goes down, corporations just dip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was really like just honorable for them to kind of like understand, like, yo, when I got into this, I knew what I was dealing with.
Absolutely.
So now I'm gonna stick in. You know what I'm saying? Like, this
Yeah.
is the culture in a sense, you know?
Often that happens is you love somebody for this image and all of a sudden they live up to their image and they're like, whoa, what are you doing over here?
He really shot somebody.
Exactly. Who would have thought he would do that?
I mean, he just says he would all the time, but I didn't think he would actually do it. Now, why don't y'all tell y'all story more, JG? Because that's why I love Inside the Label so much.
Yeah. I think for real, like we've always had that keep your head down and keep working. You know, it's, you know, like I think it's just like a personality thing, and I think it's also a thing where sometimes you don't want to draw so much attention to what you're doing either. You know, because the more attention you draw, the more negative influences that may kind of enter your atmosphere. You know, so.
Is it hard being wealthy in hip hop? Do you think that there are people that view you as a target? So like, I could get some of his money right now. I could go after him.
I think it depends on how you carry yourself, right? You know, let's be honest. If you carry yourself and you got a bunch of jewelry and you got, you know, because at the end of the day, if I run up on you and I put a gun to you, I got to get what you got on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, that's just life, right? If you take what I got on me, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But you know, you hate to say like white man rich, right? I got shit on me.
My pops always told me that. Look how white people dress.
Like, yo, what I got? $2? But then you got the one side of the story too, like, yo, you better have something for the robbers on you. Because sometimes that can go wrong too. You know, like if a nigga run up on you, yo, I got here you go $1,000. Here, take that. You know, versus somebody get mad because you don't have nothing on you. But, you know, that's just life.
I always wonder if you met a rapper that was from the street, right? Like really in the hood, but he was super dope. Would you deal with him? Especially being everything you went through with Tip?
I think it depends, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's hip hop, and yo, shit, I love some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when I listen to certain things, like it is what it is. You get that feeling where it's like, yo, this is, you know, it's loving hip hop, but shit, I love this shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it really just depends, man. And I mean, look at somebody like 50 Cent who came so much from that element, but he still had like a business understanding, right? You know, so I think it's really about the individual, because a lot of times, and it's funny because me and Kirsten was talking about this, like about dealing with artists that I kind of like got to go through some bullshit dealing with you. But I think in our culture, in our community of hip hop, of just black shit, period, like a lot of people need that mentorship. They need that guidance. Because if you're a person that can change for the better, like, why shouldn't I deal with them?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're a person that's going to put me in harm's way and I can't come back to my family, I don't really want a part of that.
I always wonder what made you leave New York, because you got a good head for business, a good head for music.
Yeah,
why couldn't you have done that in New York?
It wasn't even about couldn't. I was young. You know what I'm saying? So I left New York when I was 19 years old. You know, and at the time, like I was.
Where are you from in New York?
I'm from Brooklyn originally. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Parkchester, and Bronx. I went to high school in Montclair, New Jersey. You know,
Montclair,
You got a lot of pussy in Montclair. A lot of girls talk about Jason Jeter.
Really?
A lot of girls talk about Jason Jeter in Montclair. I didn't even know you was from Montclair. I was just in Montclair one day. You like, you know Jason Jeter? I'm like, yeah, I know Jason.
Which high school? Montclair High?
There's only one high school, Montclair High School.
My dad went to Montclair High.
Yeah, I went to Montclair High School too.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I think like for me, my mom, when I graduated, my mom moved to Atlanta. So my dad always lived in Brooklyn until he died. So for me, I was back and forth between Brooklyn and Atlanta. Obviously, you had Freaknik, you had all of that. So I was interning at Arista Records at the time, and that's when they had LaFace Records, they had Rowdy Records that they distributed that were in Atlanta. So I was meeting people on the telephone and stuff like that. And AirTran, they had X fares. You can fly $40. I don't know if y'all knew about that back then. This is like
$4 flights to where?
They shut AirTran
Atlanta?
down.
Yeah, they said AirTran had a program called X fares. If you was like a student, if you was the age of a student between 18 and 23 years old, you could fly to wherever they flew for $40.
That's why they not in business now.
That's why they probably not in business now. But like on certain days, they had blackout days. Remember, it was like Fridays you couldn't fly, but every other day you could fly.
Yeah.
So this shit was like yellow cabs for me. So I would go back and forth, back and forth. So I'm 19 years old. I went to Hampton. I went to school with Envy. I went to Hampton and I dropped out and I was going back and forth. And to me, it was like, I remember my homeboy Ty, he was like, yo, you don't want to come back to Hampton? And I was like, yo, Atlanta's like Hampton on steroids. So it was just so much fun in Atlanta that like I was like, yo, I'm broke. I might as well be broke in Atlanta. It was popping. The culture was
the cost
there.
of living is lower too.
Cost of living, girls, like the hustles, like everything. It was like it was different from what it is now. And to me, like Atlanta was the shit back then for real.
And where'd you first meet Tip at?
I was working at Patchwork at a studio, and I met DJ Toomp, and me and Toomp wanted to work together. So we started, like meeting just different artists. Toomp grew up with a guy that was Tip's older cousin. So that's how I ended up meeting Tip, literally, and this was like 99.
Did you ever want to rap?
Never.
So you knew from the beginning you were going to be
I saw
a manager.
Groove, I wanted to be Russell Simmons.
Dope.
Really?
Straight up.
And that's why I say it's important for guys like you to tell your story.
Nah, that's
Because
real.
everybody wants to be a rapper. They need to see y'all the new Russells. Y'all the Jason Jeters. Y'all,
I agree now. Honestly, I agree to that more so now than I ever did before. Because before I was always just working and just doing it. It's like, I'm working. I ain't. But
too
now,
close to it.
As you get it, I got a son and I got a nephew, and like people talk to me, and I'm like, yo, you know what? They need to hear shit to influence them, to inspire them to want to do something different.
Because think how we came up. We came up with Diddy and Biggie, Damon and Jay. It was Baby and Cash Money. We always saw the exact Master P and No Limit. It was like for 10, 15 years, it was nothing but all these dumbass artists.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who was behind them.
Now they killing the black executives.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Baby said that was real. I mean, that's something that Baby said that was real. Just like, yo, where the black executives at? And I think that in the state of music, that's been one of the unfortunate things is they've been kind of killing the black executives.
What you mean by that?
I mean, just like back to what he said, those reference points, like coming up, I had those inspirations, right? I had obviously Russell Simmons from the beginning with Def Jam, which went to, Puff and Bad Boy and L.A. Reid and LaFace Records and Dame and Jay and Rockefeller and freaking Lil J down in Houston.
Oh yeah, Rap a Lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
With Rap a Lot and Suave House and even Rough House. Like it was just so many different different points of inspiration. Master P, No Limit, that was like a huge influence on me, just seeing the numbers that they were doing. But now you look at the state of hip hop, you don't really have those. Now you really have like the A&R that kind of gets put in position, and he just signs a bunch of people, and they kind of trick a bunch of young people because they like usually like on drugs and shit, and they don't really know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something else that's not really spoke about, but another reason why the quality of music is so low, because without those entities, you don't have mentorship, you don't have guidance. You know what I'm saying? So it's back to me and Chaka Zulu partnering together, starting this new company called Culture Republic. And we got to do like Nick. So it's like, Nick, he got the cheat code for real. All you got to do is listen. Like, we done been down the block.
Shut the fuck up,
You know what I'm
Nick,
saying? Like,
and listen to Chaka Zulu and Jason Jeter.
I mean, we done been down the block. So it's like, now we can save you all the hard headaches, the scars. We can save you all of that shit for real, which, most people, unfortunately, the mentorship is taken out. So they don't have that for real. And they think they know everything. And then at the end of the day, before you know it, you out of the game, you back at home, and you're like, oh shit.
I should have shut the fuck up and listened.
I thought homeboy was my daddy, and he ain't my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see, like, it's crazy out here.
Now I see that. I'm. When it bothers me when I see artists do that with like executives that I know they don't really give a fuck about you. Like, I be seeing they'll post a picture up on the gram like, I'm with daddy.
That's what
I'm like, bro, no disrespect, but Leo
man.
Cohen, L.A. Reid, they not gonna be thinking about you tomorrow.
That ain't it is what it is. It's business. Like, it's business. And I think, honestly, that shit hurt me a little bit for real. When I see stuff like that, because it's like, you have no clue what's going on right now. You have no clue, man. Like, no disrespect to none of these people. I've been in business with all of these people, and I'm one that could say, like, when you hot, you hot. And when it's done, on to the next one.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is,
And I ain't gonna front, it makes artists, for me, it makes me take the artist more serious. Like, when I see Akon come up here with a young greatness.
Yeah.
And unannounced. Just like, oh shit, Akon's here with young greatness. See you with Nick Grant. Like, that's dope to me. I'm like, okay, I've seen this before.
Sure. They believe. You believe to make you kind of, go out of your way and do something, that you're really going hard, and that's special for real,
Now, the thing I hated about the Inside the Label of Grand Hustle, it seemed like it ended. Like, if you watch Disturbing the Pieces and everybody else, it's like, even Rough Riders, they're still trying to keep things going.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like y'all ended. Like, y'all, what's up?
Yeah. I mean, it's I think it's kind of, it's unfortunate, but the energy isn't, it's not the same like that no more, and I think that we've been doing it for a while, and a lot of times, like, people just grow in different directions, and I think that's really the case at the end of the day.
Do you and T.I. talk? Or?
Yeah, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So we talk. We're gonna always talk, and I'm always, I think it's whack for people to not be able to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you done did something together and you done got success together, I think that on the strength of that alone, you should always respect each other and have love for each other. Unless, like, I stole something from you or did this or did that, that's a whole nother story. But, like, if you just disagree on things, like, that's okay. Like,
How long did he go to jail for?
Which time?
Both times.
Both times about a year. I mean,
when your client,
but they remember those times when T.I. was on. I remember T.I. in jail when Urban Legend was out.
Legend,
like,
Oh, okay, my bad.
It's been a few times, and like
that was ill, by the way. When he came out, nobody knew he was coming out of that birthday bash, and he came out in the county jail suit.
That was crazy. Like, we had a videotape and everything.
That's planned, though, right? That's like ideas you guys are coming together. Like, okay,
yeah, we had shot a video in jail. Like,
how?
A video of the intro. I mean, the people that work in jail are still fans of these people, right? You know what I'm saying? So, people let things slide a little bit, So we literally went in jail and shot this whole, like, opening for his entrance. Like him busting out of jail kind of thing. Like, the shit was crazy. But they got word of it, and literally, I remember going to the sound man trying to play the DVD during that time. And it being like 12 cops, like, all around the thing, because, they was embarrassed. Like, yo, you play this shit, it's a wrap, But that was, like, epic for Atlanta.
So when you have a client that goes to jail for a certain amount of time, that obviously, stops momentum that you guys have.
Sure.
Is there planning going on while that person is in jail on how to bring them back to where they were, how to stop the bleeding while they're in jail, how to keep them hot even though they can't push shit out? What is going through your head when you're a client?
I think it's all of the above. You gotta, at the end of the day, fortunately, in my situation, he was coming home.
Yeah.
You knew the date of, okay, it ain't a Shine scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You coming back, so you got to plan for that, and you got to, of course, back to what Charlamagne said, you got to try to maintain whatever business that you have that's going on while that person's not in jail, right? So that's the up for like somebody like a Big Country, right?
Yeah,
Like, I got your attention now. You know what I'm saying? Like for another artist, I'm all right. Let me focus on this right now. I think that in the world of today, with somebody like Gucci Mane, like him being in jail and us seeing on social media how now you can kind of keep an artist more relevant now.
So what would you have to do while he was in jail at the time?
You was pushing country at the time.
Yeah, I was pushing
Young
country.
LA.
We had Young LA,
Dro.
Young Dro.
I love
we had
Dro.
a DJ Drama album.
Shoulder Lean is one of my favorite songs in history, by the way.
Dope. That's dope. I mean, a lot of people say that. A lot of people love Dro, man.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like,
Why you think Dro never could, because Dro always had the records. Why you think he never could get to that next level?
you gotta have a business sense as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that Dro is like the naturally talented, charisma, all of that shit. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, now it's time to show up. I got to depend that you're gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dro, like, he ain't always show up. So
Really?
like when you don't show up and I can't depend on you, you know how that shit goes. People like, oh, let me do something else. Like, I'm scared to book you. I don't, my man, so I think that for Dro, those are some of the things that kind of hurt him in a lot of ways, for real, but super talented, man, super funny, super creative, this dude.
Do you ever tell the artist it's their fault? Because the managers, they always gonna point the finger at you.
They're always gonna point the finger at you. I mean, those are real conversations, and for real, unfortunately, an artist, you could say it's your fault. You could say, hey, you could have a conversation, but an artist is an artist, right? Mm-hmm. So no matter what, they still not gonna believe it's their fault most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's just a hard conversation to have with somebody, for real.
Even with guys like Big Country, that's my man.
Yeah.
But it's just like, he just didn't catch. It's not like y'all wasn't trying.
Love him.
You know what I mean?
Love him.
Like, how do you have those conversations? Like, how do you have those conversations like, yo, it's just not working?
That's hard, man. That's a hard conversation.
Yeah. How do you approach that?
Like, those are hard conversations to have. But to me, I try to use examples, man. Like, I'm like, and my biggest example for anybody is like, yo, you look at Fat Joe, how he was Fat Joe, and then Big Pun came along. So now I'm, Fat Joe with Big Pun. I'm going to use Big Pun, and I'm going to come up behind Big Pun. And now I'm coming in more doors. You know what I'm saying? I think like Slaughterhouse, like them dudes, what they did is, hey, we've been doing this shit and they've been working. Let's try it a different way. Let's all come together. Killer Mike, look at Killer Mike. Like, I've been Killer Mike for all these years, this radical black rapper, and now I partner with this white boy and we're doing some hip hop shit, and we're fucking huge.
Gotcha.
So I think that, Big Boy with obviously Outkast was incredibly one of the best groups, period, of all time. But now I'm Big Boy as a solo artist, so now I'm out here doing my thing, and now I click up with this group, and we big grams, and I think that like people got to try things different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been trying the same approach, like clearly that shit ain't working. Switch it up. Do
you tell them sometimes, look, maybe you don't need to be an artist. Maybe you should write some hooks.
I've had that conversation with people. Maybe you need to be a manager.
Yeah.
You need to be A&R. Maybe you need
who'd
to.
you say that to?
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? like, maybe you should try something else.
I'm trying to get some details, some names.
How involved were you with the whole Iggy Azalea signing?
I wasn't involved with Iggy, man. That was all Tip, man. And that was an incredible
Did he consult you about that?
Of course, from the standpoint of, yo, what you think? We got Iggy, and we knew who Iggy was prior to that. She was running around with Rocky, and you know what I'm saying? So like, you knew about her, and you knew like, yo, if you get that shit right, it could work. It could be big. They got it right. It worked. I don't know how sustainable it's gonna be, but for that time it worked.
So when did you stop the everyday dealings with Grand Hustle? Because of course we didn't notice. We just think if it's Iggy, Jason's involved. If B.O.B., JG's involved.
I think that like what the dope thing about Grand Hustle, and probably the gift and the curse, is it wasn't like a lot of other entities as far as like dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? You look at like a lot of other companies, it was like, yo, I'm the, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So with Grand Hustle, that was the whole thing, like people coming together and like, yo, you can have your hustle and, have your hustle and, we just gonna be like united. We like the BMF for hustles. You know what I'm saying? Like of music. So I mean, for Tip, he jumped on Iggy, and obviously Iggy's a female, period, right? So he, showed her that extra attention that a female needs. Iggy, she really needed a lot of development.
Yeah.
She needed a lot of development, and she always had a sense of confidence about herself too. So I mean, it was an acquired taste, So everybody around, didn't necessarily work with Iggy, but he believed in Iggy. During that time that he was rocking with Iggy, for real, like I went hard and went after Travis Scott, and that's something that I invested some of my time and energy on.
All right, hold up. Let's stop for a second. We got to pay some bills. Today's show is also brought to you by Touch of Modern. Father's Day isn't until June 19th, so you still got time to tell Pops thanks by ordering him a cool and unique gift from touchofmodern.com. Go to touchofmodern.com and click on their Father Fest shop to find the perfect gift for dear old dad and get it just in time for Father's Day. Or better yet, skip Pops and treat yourself.
Touch of Modern has incredible items like tech gadgets, tactical gear, premium steaks, men's fashion, rugged tools. There's always something new and great for the modern man. With new sales launching every day, touchofmodern.com is the one website to discover and elevate your lifestyle in a single click. Right now, our listeners can get great deals just in time for Father's Day when they sign up at touchofmodern.com. That's touchofmodern.com. Do it today. Do it now, because tomorrow it'll be different. That's how life rolls in a fast lane.
Let's get back to the show. Now, we was just talking about female MCs, and I was talking about Epic, and I hope Epic gives Nick Grant the push he deserves.
Yeah,
because I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with Tank, but you made up a good point. No female MC has ever prospered without a crew of guys.
Yep, in history of rap.
So we need so what is it? Is that male fans need a male cosign, or do female fans also need a male cosign in hip hop?
Female fans have historically needed a male cosign / support, because no matter what you talk to females aren't listening to a female rapper throughout the whole album most of the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like we have like a Lil' Kim back in the day, that first album, Hardcore, like females loved it, but obviously she had her Junior Mafia,
Biggie.
I mean, so I mean, that's just been something hard. Like, like you kind of got to break up that female voice a lot of times with like a guy coming in on a hook, a guy, you know what I'm saying? Like a chick is always going to get on a record with some dudes and shine. Like when it's, you know what I'm saying? When it's you're always going to cut through the guys, right? Sure. So it seems like it just takes
Want to bumble with the B, huh?
Yeah. Like it just take that in and out kind of thing for real, So I think, like you said, with Tank, with a couple people out there, I think personally, like they would be, it would be smart for them to kind of align themselves in a different way.
Tank needs to get with the Save Money crew. Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, Joey Perp. It's all Chicago, and she'd be out of here.
And then somebody said that about Dej Loaf in the room. Somebody was like, "Yo, Dej Loaf should get down with like
Big Sean
and some,
Absolutely, rep the D.
I think Talib Kweli. I think that they should do a twins.
He thinks they look alike. He thinks Talib Kweli and Dej Loaf look alike.
I think they should do a twins group. It should be a duo where it's.
But you know what's so funny?
That's not a good idea.
I don't think they look like at all.
Work,
like,
man. I'm telling you, twins can work, bro.
The way you feel about female rappers getting with guys is how I feel about artists being with executives. I miss that.
Too.
I like seeing Top Dog with Kendrick.
Yeah, I agree too.
You know what I mean? I like that. I want to see who's with Cole.
But you know what it is? It's like they don't get it, man. They don't get that. Other people don't like seeing that, because when a Top Dog walk in the room, like I ain't going for that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So like when the executive walks in the room, I have your best interest in mind. When I walk in the room with Nick Grant, like they know what it is. I don't care what label we walk into, whatever label head, like you know what it is. You know this conversation is not going to be the same as if he walks in the room by himself.
Got you.
You know?
They can't jerk him.
Yo, I told somebody that.
She's like, they not going to rape you. I might, but I will make sure nobody else does, okay? All right?
Only gonna be one dick in there. And it's this guy.
Did you want him to sign though?
Oh shit, man. I think everybody, man, like and that's also the misconception, I think, with hip hop, right? Like it's like I said, depends on what type of level you want to play the game, you know? if you want to play on the biggest level, there's certain things that come with that major support.
Right.
You know, no matter how independent J. Cole seems, he has major support. Kendrick Lamar, he has major support, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody that's winning, and even like I said with Chance the Rapper, like, yo, Chance the Rapper is probably technically independent, but he has major support.
Yeah.
You know, so sure, if you can get major support, I don't care how it comes, but we need major support, you know?
How are you approaching the music industry in 2016 going into 17? Like, what holes do you see need to be filled?
I think like we kind of said, it's back to like the balance of music, you know. I think it's back to star shit for real. You know, I think in music we're very confused because we're all desperate. You know what I'm saying? And just because somebody walk in the room and they got 500,000 followers, like people are like, oh shit, let's sign them. You know, let's.
Oh yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're very socially connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that you're like at the top of the class when it comes to making music, you know? So you could take something like the Double XL, the cover, right? Freshman cover, you know, which I thought was pretty interesting from like the era that we came up in. Think about it. The era that we come up in is like, yo, let's get some guys that really kind of know some things. Let's put them in a room. Let's have this round table. Let's put some names on the board and let's talk about this. Let's debate this out. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys who've done some things and have some experience versus now it's just a popularity contest, right? And now I got a bunch of followers, you know, so they're going to vote for me. It's like, yeah, what does that mean? These kids, they change their mind every week. So I don't really know like how credible that kind of stuff is. You know?
So how does it work with you and Chaka now? You and Chaka got the label.
Yeah.
So that mean Grand Hustle's finito or?
Nah, Grand Hustle's still going, but for me, I think it's pretty cool because now it's a thing whereas it's probably a little less emotional, or I think it's a little it's something whereas like, you know, certain people, they want to have their own Grand Hustles. You know, so if I approach somebody and they look at me, yo, I want to be Grand Hustle, which has happened several times over the years. I've tried to go after different artists, and they like, yo, I respect what you're doing, but I want that. You know, so now it just changes the whole conversation now.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, yo, I can provide that for you. Like now I can play the back seat and just be the back office. I don't think it's, you know, you signing to another artist and that's like making you inferior. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is a different conversation. And
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So now you're not signing someone under T.I. Now you're signing someone directly, and you could build another Grand Hustle with that.
Gotcha.
That person.
Like, I want to be.
Some artists don't want to be under another artist.
Yeah.
I want to be a LaFace Records. I want to be a Loud Records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The old legendary record labels of our era. I want to be able to have a Wu-Tang Clan and a Mobb Deep and a this and a that. Like, you know, and really it's business and it's really for the love of the music as opposed to, like you said, being viewed as, damn, now I got to sign the Rough Riders and I want to be Grand Hustle. Or now I got to, you know, that's y'all shit. Like,
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How did that work though? Didn't DTP and Grand Hustle have a little slight beef back in the day?
Sure. It was definitely very competitive, you know, within the small town of Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's what's good, right? And I think that's what's dope about the story. You know what I'm saying? You got two different guys that came together and said what's really important. And, you know, we grown men now. That was like, you know, being in high school and shit. Now you get out of high school and now you're an adult. So now it's like, fuck that. That ain't really never mean nothing anyway. What's up?
Gotcha.
You know?
Why still stay in it?
You said that's what LA bought into?
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, they bought. Why? I mean, I assume that you've got fuck you money.
Nah, I don't. But
no, you don't. Maybe I assume you got a couple dollars, you know, but I'm not going to count your pockets or anything. But you know, you've been successful for a long period of time.
You can always Google his net worth.
So what is the what brings you back? Why start over again to a certain extent?
Because I mean, it's the love, right? Like at the end of the day, my first love is music.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that once you do something for so long.
Is it boredom too on some level?
No,
like
this is what I'm saying, right? Once you do something for so long, it gets redundant. And you do get bored.
Yeah.
But for real, My reality is getting with Nick Grant brought me back to the feelings of being in high school. It brought me back to the feelings of listening to Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito, Nas and Wu-Tang, hearing all of these dudes come up, Martin Moore. Like it brought me back to that feeling of having a DJ Clue mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like
absolutely.
It brought me back to that excitement, you know, and it made me want to be a part of the shit for real. You know, like, so that's really was the start of it for me. You know, before that, I was doing clothing stuff, you know. So back to what you said, Charlamagne, like yo, a Cool and Hustle Gang, and you know, like I made those clothing brands. You know,
I need a Hustle Gang sweatshirt. Clay was supposed to send me one, but I ain't get
made
one.
tens of millions of dollars, by the way. Hold on, my man Amir is here.
I wanted to say, like, to add on to what Jason was saying, like, it was literally times we were having conversations. He was like, "Man, fuck this music shit." And then when Nick came around, it was like, okay, not fuck this music shit. This is what it was, the feeling. So that's definitely what make you want to say, all right, fuck it, let's get back in it. You know, we've had artists walk away from us and disappear, and we be like, where the fuck they was at? And we already did all of this, and it make you be like, man, fuck.
Who walked away? Who walked away?
They always come back.
That's some shit you say at the strip club.
A Cool still making money.
Cool and Hustle Gang still.
I need a Hustle Gang sweatshirt, man.
Got you.
So you and Tip still eating
that's business. That's business. I just stopped managing Tip. You know, at the end of the day, you know, shit. Grand Hustle was 50-50, he and I, and a Cool, Hustle Gang, all of that. So.
How hard is it not to intervene if you see T.I. doing something? You like, fucking, I ain't getting my 10%. So you put the phone back down. You want to call and tell them to do something. How hard is it not to intervene?
You know, sometimes you got to mind your business a little bit. You know, at the end of the day, man, like, for real, like, it's love. Like I said, like, I text them like, yo, that was dope. Boom, boom, just on the strength of love. But, you know, sometimes you got to mind your business a little bit, too.
He caught a bad rap last week with that whole Irving Plaza.
Yeah, that was a bad look.
But I didn't understand why his name shouldn't even have been attached to that. Should have just said shooting at Irving Plaza, not shooting at T.I. concert.
I mean, but let's be honest. How many people knew who Troy Ave was?
That's the thing.
In the world, right?
Troy Ave's name wasn't big enough. He needed bigger singles.
Yeah,
if Troy Ave had a hit single, it wouldn't be shooting at T.I. concert.
If it was a bigger name, it would be.
But it is, man. That's the thing. If there's going to be a shooting at your concert, you got to make sure that person is famous. You know?
No, listen, this is a good point. It's probably my last question. How big it's not, it's a stupid question, but music means a lot. Mm-hmm. Because I think about when T.I. went to jail for the gun shit. Mm-hmm. He came home with Paper Trail. Classic album. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck no
classic album.
When he got locked up the next time, I think it was like No Mercy, and what was the other album after that?
No Mercy.
But it wasn't, whatever it wasn't Paper Trail.
Yeah, No Mercy.
How important is the music?
The music is the foundation of everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what a lot of people, that's what gets kind of difficult, right? Like when you get music popping and now you got other things that are distracting you and you got other ambitions. But at the end of the day, the music is so much the foundation because, you know, I say the music is your passport. Once you get the music right, now, you know, you can walk into any meeting, right? People are just going to want to meet with you just because. Just to go tell my kids, yo, you know I met with today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the music is very important because, you know, it's something, man, like, and somebody said this to me and it made all the sense in the world. Somebody said, as a black man, and this is business, right? It says, as a black man, white people don't give a fuck about you unless you can move your people. Which is real, right? Mm-hmm. When you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, I don't give a fuck about Tyler Perry. Damn, Tyler Perry got the numbers like that. Where's he at? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just.
I think you can say that about anybody.
I mean,
what are you moving?
Jay, what are you moving?
It's business when it comes
down.
Like,
but as a black man, specifically, because no disrespect, and I'm not a racist or militant or anything like that, but it's one of those things where it's so often someone that you're talking to when I walk into these offices, you don't know my culture.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Don't know my story. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, you know, we're not going to really get to know each other unless you know that, hey, who's he? What does he have to offer me? Oh, okay, cool. You can come in, and now we may talk and get on a personal level now.
It's like the only language they understand is the numbers.
The numbers.
That's business, though. I think because I've walked into a lot of offices and they've wanted nothing to do with me, and I'm white.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's. I really think it's what can you provide. Now, maybe the black audience is foreign to them.
very much foreign.
And they understand the white audience, so they go, well, I don't need your help with the white audience. Think about it
like this, right? It's like this. I'll go to the movies and I'll see like all kinds of movies. I like movies.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I'll see like a dumbass movie. I'm like, I can't remember the movie. I went and saw some movie and it was so stupid. And I was like, why would they make this movie? And the people that are in this movie are like, clearly they paid them some money. Like it was like the chick, the heavyset chick.
Melissa
Cabaret,
It was a movie, it was her and another chick. And I'm like, but it's movies that are
Sandra Bullock, the FBI agent movie.
I don't remember exactly, but some movies that I was seeing, I'm like, yo, it's amazing how, you get and of course the market share is more, white people going to spending money and stuff in those kind of ways. But on the flip side, you'll say like, damn, it's so hard to get a black movie made. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's so many bullshit white movies that get made, and there's so many meaningful stories that are like meaningful stories. Like, so I mean, it is what it is. And I'm not harping on anything, but that's just the way, man. Like, let's just be honest. Like, people just don't know each other a lot of times.
But you know what though? Black people are very serious. So it's like, when you can make the bullshit black movie, but we ain't gonna go see it. Soul Plane,
Soul Plane ain't make no money either though.
A lot of Tyler Perry shit flopped. You know what I mean? Like
it didn't flop.
A lot of Tyler Perry shit has made a lot of money.
But I'm talking about
money, and he spent a little bit of money.
A little bit of money.
But
I mean,
recently,
making $80 million on a $10 million film is
but a lot of this,
unprecedented.
but a lot of this shit recently, like the Singles Mothers Club and all that shit.
Not without a doubt. I think he needs to expand his like, come on, sold too much to that same customer. Which in clothing, we always say like, how many Hustle Gang, when you go in your closet, how many Hustle Gang shirts can you have?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, Tyler Perry, how many of the same movies can I go see, in all fairness, give me something different.
Do you feel like the industry's out of touch? Because I do. Like, I of course, I work for Radio iHeart, and even at MTV. I feel like a lot of the things that are hot amongst these kids, like the Chance the Rappers, the Vic mentions, they're not being reflected on these motherships. We don't play no Chance the Rapper. We should, but we don't.
I think it's a mix, man. I think because number one, and this is back to my nephew. My nephew's in going to 12th grade, and I said to him like, just riding in the car one day, I was like, yo, like what radio stations you listen to? And he was like, radio? Like, I don't listen to radio. I was like, why don't you listen to radio? He was like, why would I listen to radio?
Word up.
I'm like, yo, explain to me. And he says, yo, think about it. Like, I don't understand the point. He says, why should I listen to all of this music, all of these commercials just to hear the one song that I want to hear? When I could just access it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, like you said, it's off, but at the same time, who's your consumer for real, right? Like if the kids ain't coming, I need to talk to the people who are coming. Parents, I feel like with hip hop, I feel like with everyone talks about the millennials a lot of times, and I see it with a lot of artists, they're trying to talk to the younger artists, like older artists. Like, I'm trying to get the young consumer. I think that that's something that's interesting within the culture of hip hop now. We know that, this shit, somebody's 55 years old, you listen to rap music. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I got friends that are, 40, 42 years old and they got kids 21 years old, it's like, I personally don't think, and with social studies, it ain't cool for the dad and the 21-year-old son to be hanging out talking to the same chicks, listening to the same music. So within hip hop, it's like, you need your shit, I need my shit.
Sure.
But it's the first time the generations have been blurred, though.
Yeah, within the culture, it's the first time it's been expanded so much.
So what you supposed to do when Jay-Z drops this song with Future? And your son loves Future, and you love Hov.
Yeah. But I think that's the greatness of a record like that, right? Now it could be a bridge connector, kind of bringing both worlds, because we talk to some young kids, they're like, yo, Jay-Z's, somebody said, who said that? It was like, yo, Metro Boomin's the new Dr. Dre.
Shut up.
That's what they said for their generation, right? Sure. Like, it's the new Dr. Dre for us. I was like, wow.
Just say Metro Boomin's the new dope producer. Dr. Dre was different.
They're trying to speak your language.
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
They're trying to speak your language.
That just lets me know you don't know the legacy of Dr. Dre than to make that statement.
Yeah, but you got to understand, there was a time where people were saying, yo, Muhammad's the new Jesus. And a lot of people were like, man, Muhammad's not the new Jesus. And then he ended up being the new Jesus, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't never heard of
Hey, Metro Boomin might be that dude. Only time will tell. Atlanta's Mecca.
I mean, listen, I hate to be the old guy, but Dr. Dre had already done classic NWA albums, classic, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, Snoop.
Bro, you don't think they were saying the same thing to Muhammad? Did you walk on water?
I'd rather done that shit.
Have you turned this into wine? You know what I mean?
I can't give them that.
This is. I'm saying we're talking like old heads. This is what old heads do. Our shit is always better because that's our shit. I think the nature of the business.
I think somebody like Mike Will is on his way to being a new Dre as opposed to Metro Boomin. Give Metro Boomin a minute. He's still growing.
Look, they could be. It's just the business is very interesting right now. I think we're moving.
It's like towards, I might need beats from all of them, so I'm not going to even go get into that conversation.
And you might, but I think the business is moving towards convenience, and it's not only music. You know, it's TV, it's movies, it's all that stuff. Like you see Adam Sandler doing movies for Netflix on demand, right here. Give it, and that's what a podcast is. That's what it's right now. So while we'll sit down and we'll listen to radio, right, and it's almost comforting for me to not know what song is next. I kind of enjoy that experience. These people right now, these kids, if you're like, yo, you got to watch this TV show at 9 o'clock, they're like, but I'm gonna be with my boys at 9 o'clock. Why don't I just watch it at 9:15 when I'm ready? That's their life. So as a creator and even as like an exec with these TV stations, they need to start realizing, yo, stop locking yourself to a time. Let them watch it when they watch it because that's how they consume content now.
How does that work for you as an executive though? Because I saw you coming to the station today. No disrespect. I remember when Amir used to be running up on DJs. Amir ain't even gonna speak to Pro Style or Envy today. No, so it's like, so do you even care about a Nick being on the radio or anything like that? You know?
I definitely care. You know, because I think that what I personally say is like the internet, all of that gives you access to music.
Got you.
Radio still make people superstars. The DJ still has that power, right?
Gotcha.
The DJ, like you said, I could be the dopest rapper, you know, and I see it all the time, like kids who like, oh, you got a lot of followers, so you think you the shit. But to me, like, if whatever DJ's in the club and you play that record at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's still that shit that makes you a superstar.
Yeah. The DJ is Netflix. The DJ is the channel. Right? Like once they co-sign it, then all of a sudden we go, oh shit.
But it confuses me though.
Oh shit, he's on Breakfast Club. Oh shit. Wow, maybe I should like this more. Or
because for me, when I see Chance, and I see Chance got an Apple commercial. Chance was on Colbert last night. Chance done SNL twice. And the radio ain't playing this shit. We look out of touch. Like he's already to me a superstar.
So why don't you change that?
I'm trying.
Somebody just told me that Joey Badass sold more records than Chance the Rapper. First week.
He might have. Joey's another one. Joey did like 70,000 one time when he. I don't know if it was this project, but
but they just told me that yesterday, and I was like, damn, that's dope. That's weird though. You know, just being that Chance got so much press. But to your point though, no matter what, these dudes they have, and I think that's the dopest thing about today, right? Just having, you know, your own database, which is what the world's about, right? Like if I want to put some shit out, I can go. I'm gonna tell my audience, that this shit's coming out tonight at 12 o'clock. And they're coming to represent for me.
But because we're so divided now in terms of fan base, you could have, like Joey Badass could sell more records than Chance, right? But let's just say Joey Badass has 100,000 hardcore fans that are all going to purchase his album, but Chance has 10 million fans that they stream music.
Without a doubt.
It's just, I think we got to stop looking at purchases of music.
Very true.
As a realistic view of how much people like or how big you are, how famous you are.
Because it could be 70,000 New Yorkers with CD players who still wear denim jean shorts and Timberland boots in the summertime, and they love Joey.
Clearly, that's why I was confused. But like you said, I agree with you. At the end of the day, sales don't mean much no more, right? It is what it is.
Look, we got to look at streams, or we got to look at another.
The broad reach, like you said, the streams, and you know.
But then again, even viewership, like there's this show on HBO Girls, you know, that show on HBO Girls, like that show on HBO Girls, you would think is the biggest show in the world. It gets like 300,000 viewers a week, right? Which is not a lot, but the people that watch it are the bloggers. They're the writers for fucking Rolling Stone,
Us Weekly.
But it's I don't want to say the quality of people, but
the influencers.
The influencers, you're right.
So they could create this atmosphere that makes something feel bigger than it is, and maybe that's who listens to Chance or the influencers.
And then, like you say, even with the television show, it's like, all right, we might be 300,000 this week, but with that spread shit, 2 seasons down the line, we can be the biggest, right?
Fair,
you know.
Yeah, so
that's true. Cause I felt like that at Chance in the beginning. Well, I felt like that about Chance in the beginning. Like it was just all. I'm like all these bloggers and shit talking about it. But then I'm like, all right, that coloring book shit is dope. So I don't know how the old shit sounded, but maybe they was on to something.
And it make you feel like you out of the loop.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So even if you still out of the loop, you like, chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm in the loop now, goddammit. Hey, Jason Jeter, thank you, my brother.
Thank y'all. I love the show, man. So, it's always good. And I want to say something, too. Y'all was talking about Bevel, man. The dude, Tristan Walker, big shout out to him, in Silicon Valley doing his thing.
That means that Jason Jeter has some money invested somewhere in Silicon Valley.
I'm just watching. I'm trying to get in.
All right, before you leave,
he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Let's just go over real quick some strip club etiquette, some Grand Hustle strip club etiquette. I think we need to do a series for Grand Hustle where it's just Grand Hustle strip club etiquette.
Yeah. Grand strips.
We like to get in here. Hold on. But this is real tough. Who's the now we need to give away something. We're not going to name any names. I need a little bit. I need a sub-secrets because I might feel of all the labels, the best with the strip club. Who you think it is? Is it Grand Hustle? Let's be honest.
We definitely got to be up in there.
You have to be honorable mention at least.
Us is the best for it. And I'm gonna say this because our shit was organic.
Yeah.
What you mean by that? Hold on.
I mean, from the standpoint of, it's back to what Amir said. You got it. Number one, we in Atlanta. That's first and foremost. Let's be honest. We in Atlanta, right? And that's where our records started at, right? So that's where we broke our records at. So clearly we got chances to know the DJ, the owner, the security, the girls, everybody. But back to my man's point, you got to go during a day shift.
Day shift strip club.
Day shift is maybe from like noon to about 8.
But I heard that during the day shift, all the chicks from Walterboro work at the strip club.
Bullshit.
That's not true. That's
the best meeting place to have a meeting.
And that's why we like the day shift. That's one of the reasons we like the day shift. And also, you might have to kill some time.
So you go to the strip club day. Why? What are the advantages of the day?
You can get a little more up and close and personal. You can ask that question. You can ask that question.
That's so funny.
You can ask that question. So what else do you do?
These strippers,
Hey, man, don't do that to me.
That's so funny. But back to what he's saying is like, for real, you could talk to a person.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that shit's gonna carry over, right? So let's say a club like Magic City.
Okay.
Probably the world's biggest, most known strip club.
Yeah.
Magic City, everybody knows Monday nights in Magic City is 1 million people in there. It's packed. You know what I'm saying? So now if you end up going in there on a Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening, and now, the girls, you're just talking, you're having drinks, and really you're just talking. It's not these girls on your team.
Yep.
Like, it ain't even about, I ain't tricking, So now you're emotionally attached. Yep. So now on Monday night, when I walk into the club,
they know.
And that trick over there is spending $100,000, they're going to leave, and they're going to come over here.
Right over here with us.
They're going to roll up and smoke and have a drink and come back and pick up their money to that guy. Like, they'll leave that guy on pause. Hey, pause, I'll be back.
And
they'll leave for 30 minutes and come back, and, so it's that's where it all comes from.
And they keep your music going, because when y'all not there, they're like, yo, play that Grand Hustle shit.
They wearing the team.
Oh, that's right, because they get to choose what they dance to and stuff like that.
And they end up on the team.
Okay, now, are you guys buying dances from these chicks?
That's you can talk first, and I'll tell you my thing.
I don't do lap dances.
You don't do lap
dances.
dances.
Do lap dances, and everybody knows that. So they
why? What's the logic behind that?
I just don't do that.
Okay,
that's not my thing. I'll tip the stage though, and they don't really like that sometimes. But I'd rather do it that way. That's just my thing. Hey, but everybody got their own thing, man.
And see, for me, I sometimes, and this may sound funny, but I just smoke, have a drink, chill, get them something, I'm out. You ain't got to dance with me, you ain't got to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to what Charlamagne says at the end of the day, I need you invested in my brand. Because I'm in here like, I ain't like trick. I ain't coming in here for that, for real. This shit's business. Yep. So when I leave, I need you to feel like, Grand Hustle, that's my brothers.
Exactly.
Not those are the biggest tricks. Those are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like
I never wanted to be looked at like a John. I never wanted to be looked at like that.
So you got to make them feel like a human now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
You're not treating them like a product. You're treating them like a person.
A person.
So what else do you do?
So I understand the hustle. I'm at your job.
Right.
Word up.
I'm taking up your time. I'm not gonna pay you what the next nigga paying you, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you an offering. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it moving. And now
The offering is before you leave? It's goodbye?
On my way out. See you later.
Hey.
See you later. See you later.
And then if we do house party and All-Star Weekend, we'll have you come down and
now we do. Come on, man. I'm just saying it's back to that. That's why
all
we
of that
fight
helps
it.
business, bro.
That helps business. And now let's keep it real, right? Now when I bring the dude from out of town, because that's what it's really about, right?
Yeah,
now we in Atlanta, when you bring a dude from out of town, no matter if you from Silicon Valley, if you a program director from another city, if you a guy who works for a brand, whatever it is. Now when I bring you in this environment, you're gonna be fucking amazed, right? And now, like when the rush comes, all of my sisters, you know what I'm saying? And now my sisters, hey, you did sick 'em, you get him. You know what I'm saying? Now I can sit back.
Please tip my sisters. Please tip my sisters.
Here's the question. Here's my question. Is there ever a situation where you get to fuck your sisters?
I don't fuck my sisters.
nah, B, that's incest.
I think you get more out of not fucking them, yo.
You get more out of not fucking your
You
sisters.
get more business wise, but
business wise and whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to just be for real, even from the standpoint of if you're fucking with a girl, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say, like, you know, if you're fucking with a girl and you bring a girl into the strip club,
yeah.
and now my sisters approach this girl, you know, and now my sisters will dance for this girl, and my sisters will bring things out of this girl that I never might not even knew that existed. So now, you know, you get in the car. This girl my sisters have hit the pregame for me already.
Wow, so you're bringing girls to the strip. So you guys aren't fucking strippers.
I don't fuck strippers.
Really?
My sisters. Like, why would I want to do that? You gotta think about it. That's like a messy business. You fuck strippers.
Yeah.
Now you gotta you gotta keep coming to this club now.
Yeah.
So now they gonna put the word out on you. Now they gonna hate on you. And
And if you fuck one, you're labeled a stripper fucker forever. He fucks strippers.
Nah, man. That's some shit you might do when you young and you don't know the game. But once you get to a point, you like, all right, this ain't the business. I can't do that.
Okay, last question. If you were going to try to fuck a stripper, hypothetically speaking, what is the best course of action? Without payment.
I was gonna say that was a rhetorical question, Jay.
Like, shit. Oh, no, bro. But you want to take on a date? On the Carter? You know?
I don't know, man.
Listen, man, salute to my man Nick Grant for coming through today. Jay Jeter, my man Amir. We appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you guys for coming down, man.
Listen, as always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're brilliant, you think we're smart, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast, you think we're just a couple of idiots who don't know shit, you're right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.